Morning, guys and gals. Froggy here. This is a fairly new security doorbell video smartphone app device. So that's a whole bunch of things all wrapped into one. It's called Ring, and I got one, and I'm going to show you how to install it, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Okay, we didn't get too far into this. My first impressions are good quality, looking at the quality of all the different components. Pretty good instructions. There's a backing plate that's going to be fastened to the stucco. But I do have to Froggy's waving the bullshit flag about this 5-minute install. It takes me 5 minutes just to open this up and look at all this stuff. So, okay, a little bit of hyperbole or exaggeration or whatever you want to call it on that 5 minute. Okie doke, so moving right along, I did just call the technical support number, and I used it in English. Now, technical support people are driven by scripts, S-C-R-I-P-T. Script means they don't really listen to what you're saying. They try to fit you into their script. So that's fine. Eventually, I got the guy to stop talking. I got him to listen to my question. My question was this: can I mount this thing and then when my wife comes home, program it, download the app on her phone and program it? And the answer was yes, but I have to have access to this orange setup button. So I can get it all mounted on there, and then when she comes home, I've got this thing mounted to the backup. All right, let's use the real backup. And then I'm going to take this off so I can get to this orange button, which is underneath that sticker. So the technical support was pretty good, not perfect. You guys and gals, you know how it is with technical support. Anyway, I'm going to now mount this on the wall. I'm going to hang the phone on there. I don't want the app on my phone at this point. I get too many phone calls already, but when my wife comes home, I'll put it on her phone and we'll take it from there. So basically, I'm going to skip step 1, skip step 2, skip step 3, and go to step 4. Removing your existing doorbell. I don't want there to be 2 doorbells. I do not recommend to you that you leave the old doorbell there. Now it does say if you have like an intercom type doorbell, you're going to have to do some special stuff. I'm not going to get into it because I do not have an intercom doorbell. I just have a ding-dong doorbell, plain old doorbell. So let's go take off the old one. Then we'll install the mounting bracket. I've done this stuff thousands of times. It should be pretty easy. Okay, so Froggy's doorbell is glued on there for some reason. I guess I didn't want to drill holes or whatever. So I used some silicone or something to put it on there, which worked pretty good. And now I'm going to take it off without destroying too much stucco. Yours is probably just screwed on there, or might be hanging by the wires. I've seen a lot of them that are hanging by the wires. Now the new one's going to cover all this anyway, so I don't have to worry too much. And I do have some touch-up paint if I needed it. There we go. Wow, that must have been some good glue. Anyway, you're gonna have to excuse the noise. We're gonna have dogs barking, kids playing basketball, and cars driving by. But I think you can hear me okay. So I got the old doorbell off. I get a screwdriver and unscrew it. the polarity, I guess there is no polarity. You don't have to worry about which wire goes to which, according to the directions. Well, I'm gonna turn the camera on and off a few times so that you don't have too much dead time. Okay, I am gonna have to keep walking in front of the camera, so sorry. So when I put these screws on, or when I put these wires on, I put a little bit of a curve, kind of curve them around the terminal a little bit. Okay, there you go. All right, this thing is the diode. See, as soon as I start talking, here comes the guy starts his truck up. Okay, he's gone. This is the diode, and if your bell goes ding dong, you don't use this. Get rid of it. If your bell plays like a fancy tune or something, then you put this in there, in between the two terminals, and it doesn't matter which way it goes. So mine's a ding dong, so I'm not going to use it. I took the stickers off of this mounting plate so you could see what it looks like without the stickers now. They did have, one of the stickers was across these contacts. I don't know if it left any residue. I kind of wiped them a little bit. If it was me, I would not put any sticky substance on those contacts, because those contacts have to go to the main device. Well, we'll see how it works. Now this is pretty clever. They give you this little leveling device, which you can just, it kind of snaps in. I'm not going to waste time showing you. It's pretty easy. Oh well, I'll show you. See the back side? This just hooks over a couple of those little tabs, and it goes in like that. Anyway, kudos to the guys that designed this. I think that is pretty cool. Is it necessary? Not really to me, but I like it because it's like a detail. I like details. So let's put this on. I'm going to walk in front of the camera. All right. The wires are going to connect there and there. So it's going to go up like that. And apparently I've got a little bit of extra sticking out here. I think I'm going to get my knife and try to trim this back a little bit so this will be more flush. It's not really 100% necessary because you've got 4 screws that are going to hold it on there, but I am a detail guy, so let me do that. Plenty of wire there. I just figured a way to do this without walking in front of the camera. So that should make you happier. So I'm just gonna take this knife and trim back. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. It's too boring. Okay, there you go. I cleaned it up a little bit, so my mounting plate can be flush now. All right, I got a little marker, and we get back here, get those wires. They're going to be right like that. Get that about in the center. Well, it fits a little bit flusher. Not totally flush, but I'm not going to grind away at the wall to make it totally flush. I'll just screw it on there. I may put a little bit of silicone seal around here just for, for moisture. But let's see. It doesn't really matter where I move it. It's going to be sticking out a little bit. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Well, it's hard to mark on stucco. I'm not gonna film this, but I'm gonna mark it a little bit better. Well, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be the hardest part of this whole thing, is getting your magic marker, your Sharpie, to mark on stucco. Well, my, more details. See those little O-rings? So when you screw this backing plate on, it's going to seal the black backing plate. So what Froggy was saying about putting a little extra silicone seal around it, I guess I don't really even have to do that. I might still do it, but and they give you 1 extra screw. Well, maybe they don't give you an extra screw. I'm not sure. They maybe give you an extra screw and an extra insert that goes into the stucco, or maybe there's 5. I'll have to check. Okay, now we've got a drill. They provide you a drill. They do suggest you start the hole with a smaller drill. Froggy happens to have one. These are special drills that go into brick or concrete or stucco. Special hardened tips on them. Regular drill, you're probably just going to be wasting your time, but I will start with this smaller one. I wish I had a little bit smaller than that, but I don't, and I'm not going to go out and buy one just for this. So let's do some holes. So if you're drilling into stucco like I am, it's hard to get it exactly where you want it, so press in a little bit, do a little bit of this kind of thing, and it's only going to be not even quite an inch deep. So put some pressure on it. That bit is not really very, very sharp, but hopefully it'll get me in there. See how hard it is to drill into stucco. I might have to sharpen it. That's not going very well. Let me see if I can sharpen this a little bit. Alright, I changed my mind about sharpening it. I'm just going to use brute force. Check your holes every once in a while, because when you're drilling into something like stucco, the tip of the drill bit likes to walk away. So check, and if it starts to walk away, then you have to do something like this sometimes to get it back to where you want it. So I'm going to drill these a few more times and drill them and check them and drill them and check them. Yeah, it's working. When I use their provided drill bit, it might cut a little bit better, but this might end up being big enough. The thing you don't want to do is make the hole too big, because then you won't be able to tighten the screw in it. Yeah, that one's going pretty good. A little harder stucco up on the top, I guess. may pop through the I may pop through this skim coat of stucco. Now I'm going to check those holes. Okay, I did end up sharpening this. I've got a bench grinder with an abrasive wheel, and that's a whole different video. I'll show you that sometime. What you're going to find with stucco is sometimes it goes pretty good and sometimes it goes slow. That's because the composition of the stucco is like sand and little bitty rocks and different stuff, and it's not consistent. Sometimes you hit a hard spot and sometimes you hit an easy spot. So I'm good. I need about an inch. Come on. So I'm good there. I'm good there. I'm not good here yet. I didn't start that one yet. But I just wanted to show you how it was going. Well, the thing about stucco is it can take 10 or 15 minutes to drill one hole and 10 seconds to drill another hole, depending on what you hit when you're in the stucco mix. That one took like 10 seconds. So I got my small holes drilled. Now I'm going to test fit those little plastic sleeves. I think I'm going to have to open up the holes a little bit. That should be much easier. Alright, this is probably a little bit tight. I might be able to hammer it in, but sometimes if you hammer on these you just destroy them. So I'm going to use the drill, which has a special tip I already explained, to open these up a little bit. Maybe not all the way, but maybe about half the way. Well, I think I'm there. These are like, they have like shark teeth. These are like one-way things, so once I shove it in there, I'm going to have a hard time getting it out. The way these work is the screw will expand the plastic and make it tight. Don't tighten these up too much because you'll just strip out the plastic. This is not meant to be on there that tight. So I'm going to tap them in there, and then I'll put on the backing plate. So this is how these go in. Remember, if you have to hit them too hard, you probably didn't make the right size hole. And if you crush this thing when you put it in, it's not going to work. There. No, we're moving right along now. Yikes. Drilling that stucco. Huh. I'm glad I don't have to spend every day doing that. I'm just moving those little O-rings so that they're moving back. Stay, stay, stay. Screwdriver they give you. And remember, don't over tighten this, regardless of anything, but especially if you're on an uneven surface, you're probably going to crack this, or if you don't crack it, you're at least going to bend it so that if it's bent, it's not going to mate up correctly to the other part. See, that's what your doorbell does. It just shorts between those two wires. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit more. See, if I look at it from the side, I can already see where it's starting to get a little tiny curve to it. So I'm going to back that off. I don't want it curved. And it does not have to be on there that tight. And I want the base to be flat. That's better. So I am going to put a little bead of silicone around this, just, yeah, that's pretty level. I'm going to put a bead of silicone so that it will, it'll look a little nicer, I think. I'm going to connect these wires. See, I'm energizing here, but this is not connected to anything, so I can just do this. They say to kill the circuit before you attach the device, which I will probably do. I can do that in the garage. Yeah, I guess it's all right. Just bend that so that when you tighten it, and again, don't over tighten it, but you bend it into a nice little curve. So you can install this without attaching the wires. It actually has a built-in battery, but then you would have to charge that battery. They say every 6 months, who knows, but if you've got some doorbell wires that have power to them, do this. Okay, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'll be back. Okay, this part I'm gonna have to tell you what I did because it wasn't on camera. I didn't film it because I had to use the camera that's in the smartphone itself. So anyway, I just went and downloaded the app from the ring.com website, downloaded it onto the phone, and I had to do a little bit of registration thing. You do not have to put your exact address in. You can put an address that's close enough. Some people will not want to put their exact address. It's kind of a security thing. So you're not broadcasting your exact address all over the world. And so then what you have to do, excuse my back, is once the app's on the phone, you take this and you have to shove it onto, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little tabs that you have to shove it onto. And here, if you're on Stucco or anything that's uneven, you're going to find out why I told you not to screw it in too tight, because if you screwed it in too tight, you will have bent the backing plate, and if you've bent the backing plate, then you can't slide the phone on all those 6 little tabs. So mine was a little bit bent, so all I did was I unscrewed the screws a little bit, and I took my putty knife and put it in back of the backing plate a little bit just to straighten it out, and then I was able to slide it on there. It goes on kind of hard if you're on an uneven surface. If you're on an even surface, maybe it goes on easier. I don't know, but I'm just telling you that's what I did to get it on there. So now it's up and running. There are some settings, I think, if you go to their website and you set different things, but let's just, you might have heard the inside doorbell, and now you hear the outside doorbell. And let's see. Yeah, the little spinning light there. Now there should probably be a message that comes to my phone. It might not come to my phone while I'm filming video, so let me shut the video off. Okay, so I'll have to describe to you what happened. I press the doorbell, it rings my inside doorbell, it also makes a noise and rings this outside doorbell. I did get a message on my phone. The message on my phone said front door, which I had programmed it to say front door. And then I got a video of me standing at this camera at the front door. So that all worked. Now, then I got a pop-up that said your 30-day trial for video. I think it said 30-day trial for video, free trial starts now. And so I tapped on that, and it said something about, you know, you have to buy $3 for basic plan, $3 per month, $10 per month for an unlimited plan. So anyway, there's some more money involved. You're going to have to, if you want more functionality or full functionality or something, you'll have to pay an amount per month. So that's something I did not know about, and I guess you could say it's something they don't really tell you about or advertise to you, unless I missed it. You don't see about that until you install it. So that's probably going to be about it for now, and I will show this to the wife and see what she thinks about it, and I'm going to wrap this up. So give me a thumbs up if you like this, and if you want more from Froggy, subscribe to my channel. It's free. I don't ask for any subscription per month. And I'll give you more videos on what I do. Mostly it's automotive, but then it's also this other kind of stuff that's just interesting. Okay, see you later, guys and gals. Froggy out. Bye-bye. So just one more point, I think, to be absolutely clear. If you're shooting a video, at least, I don't think you get any message from Ring if somebody comes to your front door. I think your phone has to be sort of available and not being used for other purposes. Maybe if you're on a call or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really clear on that. I will put some notes and comments up there as I learn more about the product. But just wanted you guys to know that. I was shooting video and Ring didn't interrupt the video, which is a good thing, I suppose, but it did not interrupt the video to give me any message. Okay?